Rain.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Show the crowd what you think a fucking martini is.
Audio's back. Audio's back. We're good.
Go.
Okay.
All right. So look, I
high
gotta.
production quality.
Oh, I gotta point something out real quick.
I think you have to let him do his intro again, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
point.
Sorry about that, guys. Welcome to Theta Thursdays. Apologies for that. I don't know what went wrong, but I fixed it. I am your host, Mifune, with the co-host, Don Rhea. And today our special guest is obviously the Big Red Boat. I hope everybody does enjoy our show today. So, Don, Boat, do you maybe want to start us out with
What?
Don? What do you think has happened in Eve this week that you find interesting, Boat?
Wait, what? Y'all jumping into it that fast?
Yes.
What the hell?
It's
I
Theta.
didn't play Eve
Everybody
this week,
else
so I have no idea.
But how was your day today? Like
My
just generally
day,
speaking, did you have a nice shit today?
No, I mean my day was pretty awesome. One of my students decided that he wanted to get all the work done that's due today, and then emailed me. It was like, "I'm done. So now what?" And it kind of surprised me, and I was really happy.
Gotta love that Asian work ethic, right?
What the hell?
Ready?
What the?
Good day.
Okay, shit. Anyway, but yeah, it's been a good day, and also, let's see, what else did I do today? I played some Black Desert Online, and I blew up some accessories. Let's see, what else? Yeah, let's see, what else did I do today? Oh, I'm eating food. I had Olive Garden delivered, and I'm currently having salmon with broccoli, and I also have the salad.
Did you get salmon with broccoli from Olive Garden?
Yeah, because it was free.
Oh, well, can't bash you there.
So, Eve has been kind of up and down this week. I think kind of one of the bigger announcements is the continued pocketed PvE that they keep throwing at us. But the tier 0 and tier 6 abyssal sites that they just announced on Tuesday.
What's an abyssal site?
The Triglavian things, or you
I don't play
activate
it, so I don't know.
Oh, well, you activate a filament and you go into a pocket and...
Oh my god. Boat, you remember Incursions? It's like that, but more complicated, and then you get these new ships and new fucking salvage, and then...
Oh, I've flown the new ships. Yeah. I just don't know what PvE is.
Yeah,
I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, it's basically Incursions, but more complicated.
Oh, what's PvE stand for?
And Incursions are missions, but more complicated.
Is that like the Locust Fleet you do, the PvE thing? Is that PvE?
No, that's actually
PVR. That's actually PVR. That's player versus rocks.
Oh.
So, well, it's PvE's player versus environment, but details.
Oh.
Normally they had tier 1 through 5. Like tier 1 is like, I know. It's normally like Babby's first filament site should have been tier 1s. Now they've made tier 0s, which are, I guess, supposed to have the same rules as a T1, but less rats in it and like really shitty loot. So I guess it's like embryos first filament, and then tier 6s are supposed to be ridiculous, and someone was reporting there were Komodos inside.
Ooh, I like Komodos.
I don't know if the Komodos...
They have like toxic bites and they can kill you.
They're not toxic, right? It's a bacteria.
Komodos do, dude. Yeah, it's toxic. It will kill you.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think you understand how toxic Komodos are.
Dude, have you ever watched Komodo dragons fight, dude?
Oh yeah,
it's pretty vicious.
It's like giraffes but reversed.
You ever seen a Komodo dragon hunt? They just ignore whatever's biting them.
Oh, they just fucking chomp like a whole fucking deer, dude. It's insane.
It's pretty nuts.
They're goddamn lizards, and they have fucking armor too. It's
and
crazy.
if you think you
look.
If you think if you can swim or climb to get away from them, you think again.
If you thought you were going to hear about spaceships tonight, wrong. We're talking about fucking Komodo dragons all night.
But she said Komodos. Terrifying. Look,
they are terrifying.
I actually thought of something related to Komodos. Here's how you solve a Komodo dragon problem. You detonate a nuke underwater that releases high amounts of radiation.
Look, They had a movie about this in the 90s, I believe.
Let him finish.
How did they pronounce the name? Gojira? What was that?
Go ahead,
Gojira.
Bo.
So instead of like having it do damage, you just like release that shit with like you do it like in a coral reef, and it'll vaporize the coral reef, right?
They
And when
only
it
live
vaporizes
on
the
like
coral
2
reef.
islands.
Yeah, I know. And so you do
only
it
gotta
between
fuck
the
up
islands.
2 areas.
And
Yeah, no,
this
it's real
is why humans will never get past the Fermi paradox.
But here's what's great
we're all
about it.
screwed
No,
because we're gonna do this
we already
shit to
passed it.
ourselves.
We're already past it. So let me
No,
explain.
we're not.
No, you got to understand this. All right, it's called the spirit of cooperation. We get Russia to nuke one island. We nuke another. We high five. Boom. Done. Then those giant ravenous Gojiras, they take care of all the bad boaters. You know, the ones in Antarctica that are killing all the good fish. Yeah, problem solved.
I thought you meant the ones on that lake in Austin or whatever.
No, they already sunk themselves. They're like a test fleet. You just had to look at them funny, and then down the boat they go.
So, shout out to Magnum Allen. Happy birthday, dude.
Very true. We would like to wish
He
Magnum.
DC'd or something.
Did he DC? So Magnum was supposed to be on our show this evening, but it is his birthday, and he is one of the oldest living Goon Swarm members in the universe. He's ancient, but we all love him, and he is a dear member of Theta Squad. So happy birthday, Magnum, and I'm sure everybody else likes to wish him a happy birthday as well.
Yeah, Magnum's rocking a tight 68. Best year's next year, though.
And if you want to wish him a happy birthday, you could throw money at the screen, like a $2.
You can actually send it to Syndic Thras to replace the dreadnought that I already gave him for his birthday.
Wait, you lost a dreadnought for your birthday? Ooh,
no, I gave him like a half-fit dreadnought because I asked him what his favorite ship was, and he said a Revelation.
Why was it half-fitted?
He pulled it out of like whatever hangar it was in.
Couldn't you have the asshole of like fully fitting it?
Wait, what's this about tight assholes? Wait, hold on. Rewind for a second.
Oh, Bo,
I heard someone say tight asshole. I got excited.
Oh my God.
You're not the only one who got excited.
Then people call me the problem. You see, guys?
This is not a problem. What? How's this a problem? This is entertainment. Okay?
That's what I tell them every week, and they still like don't allow me to say certain shit.
No.
Well,
See,
you and me
I'm not saying
Speaking of
anything bad. I'm saying good shit. I bring entertainment. Like for example, like there's this game called BDO, right? And they're doing this thing called Season. But you know
what?
Okay,
what's the game called?
Black Desert Online. You ever heard of that game? It just so happens the people that own EVE Online own Black Desert Online.
Okay, that's why I recognize it.
It's their big money game. They make a lot of money on the game. Well, they're freaking awesome. So imagine this, right? Imagine like EVE Online did this. So in the game, there's like these little minor inconveniences you can encounter. Like if you go into the desert, you can get what's called desert sickness, and you got to cure it with like a drink. And it's really just annoying because you'll be in the middle of the desert and you'll just get it for no reason. You got to drink a drink. So that means you always have to carry the shit. So because of COVID being out, they gave a bunch of stuff for free so people don't have to deal with it. They turned off desert sickness. They basically made it a gamer's paradise. And I was thinking, like, if these guys are so awesome and making this game so awesome, why can't they do the same thing to EVE? It's really ridiculous.
That's a really good question.
Have you guys ever played a game called Path of Exile? Or let's say Diablo? Yeah. Okay, so you know how on those games...
Dude, we played Diablo way too fucking much back in the day. Like,
okay,
you and I put hundreds of hours into that game.
All right, so you know how you have, like, seasons in those games? And ladders, and, like, they tend to reset them every season, and you have to start fresh? Well, Black Desert Online has come up with their version of seasons. But here's what their version is. It's just leveling a character and doing the main story again and making new gear. Everything else you can have access to. You have access to all your loot, all your levels, all of your other shit. And they make you wear, like, season-only gear. So it's like everything that would be amazing about doing a season with none of the negatives. It's like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Are you?
And I really wish
are
that
you
the games were tough.
suggesting? Are you suggesting that we should implement something like this in EVE Online?
Well, no, not EVE Online, because
Do you,
I'm
like,
not talking about
upgrade
EVE Online, other
modules?
games. Well, see,
I don't know
here's
how-
the thing. Here's how you would do it.
What
in EVE
about?
Online,
What
right?
about? What about?
Actually, I had a dream about this. Right, I had a vision. I was at work the other day.
Go
right?
ahead, Dr. King.
You're gonna like this. So you know how we have meta 14 weapons, and it goes from 1 to 14, right?
Yep.
So here's what I thought. Instead of having like boss drops and things that promote botting, because it's kind of unequitable, they should do like Black Desert does. All right, you start off with T1, which is level 1, right? Okay, but you have to enhance it by doing PvE to get the materials needed to enhance it, and you can enhance it all the way up to meta 14. Okay, and meta 14 is insanely hard to enhance compared to say.
Hold on, wait. What does PvE mean again?
I don't remember, but so what you do is you have this like enhancement thing, and like a lot of like MMOs do this, right? Where like you basically roll the dice, and there's a chance you can get it or a chance it can fail. And I think that'd be cool as fucking EVE. Like if your modules didn't drop when your ship died, like you got the there was a chance that the modules would die or whatever, but like you could enhance your way up. So you could basically have a Titan that's T1, unless the person enhances his Titan's modules up to meta 14. You know what I mean? I think that'd be cool as fuck. I think
So
that'd be a great.
what you're saying is, hold up, Bo.
I
So
think that okay. So let's accept the fact, Bo, at least that that would get game to shit, namely by us, immediately.
But you can't bot it.
Yeah,
but you can't bot it. That's what's great about it.
Okay,
Bo,
I mean, well, you could.
How would you upgrade your Titan though? Like, would the Titan have to be in
by using it? By using it. So what you're saying is, Bo, is that this is
you have to use it?
this is just like the artifact system from the last WoW expansion before WoW went to shit, where they had the artifact shit. Well, like you get an item that is like absolute dirt shit, and then what you do is you use that item for its purpose, and it levels itself, and the item itself levels up by meta level. So let's say you have a warp disruptor, and then like to level it up to meta 14, you got to tackle so many things with it.
We'd be on the 1DQ and Undock, tackling each other all day. We get neutral alts out there and just
but see,
the fuck out of that.
Here's how BDO combats that. Okay, when you get to like, in the case of BDO, when you get to what's called Pry, which is like tier 14, between tier 14 and tier 19, which is the highest, there's a chance that the item could go back down one level if you fail. So you go to enhance it, and it could go down, or in the case of accessories, right? So I'm thinking accessories like ammo and stuff, or maybe even rigs. There's a chance that when you enhance it, it can blow up. Right? Like if you fail,
just blow up your rig?
Like your tracking computer scripts, you could get like a super.
No, not that. Like it's probably like rigs or something. But I'm just thinking of like we need BDO, like the developers of BDO, because they kind of own EVE now, right? To do that with EVE. That would be like the coolest thing on the planet.
What every single MMO have done for the past 15 years. Like Matting has done it, Silk Road has done it. Like only WoW doesn't have a system like that.
Wait, what? When you said you said every MMO for the past 15 years, and what you listed Silk Road and what?
What the fuck that shit is?
Just a weird two picks.
Yeah, because they're basically what their systems are all about. It's based on that. It's enhancement, like putting your weapons like plus 10 or plus 15, and it all shines. Shit.
Isn't Silk Road where Fofofo came from?
No, I thought that was Diablo,
like
right?
super.
No.
Super aggressive Korean one. It was like super aggressive Korean like.
No, it wasn't from an MMO from Korea. It was a US one called not Ultimate Domain. It's like
Silk Road Online.
No, it's fucking like what is that game? There's like eight of them.
I guess.
No, it was out for DOS. Like what? It was originally out for DOS. Ultima
Online. Ultima Online. That's the one.
Yeah,
it was Ultima 8 though. Ultima 8, which was basically Ultima Online, came out in like 2002 or something like that. And in that one is where Fofofo came from. Because the guy would just reply that way whenever he did something. Yep. Jesus. It's on the good wiki. I mean, come on now. But
Well,
why
I
are we
read that
why are
in
we
a while.
talking about Eve? I don't play Eve. I was told to come here and just chit chat.
I mean,
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you came in and
It's Theta, right?
No,
I
we're
did
not talking.
more. I did more than the sharp left turn this would take when they put you and I in a fucking
That's okay.
chat
No,
channel.
you don't understand. Like every day in Theta, this is literally what I do when I go into Theta chat. So I mean, you said this is
Also,
Theta
I
too
haven't-
Thursday.
I haven't gotten to bullshit with you in like years.
And now
So
that
the-
the power is back in our hands, by the way.
Can we do the Theta questions now?
Wait, is that the DeLorean pilot?
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
Oh, what the
did you
fuck,
not
for
know
real?
that?
Were you the one that was fanboying over the French thing, or was that a different person, at least in yesterday?
Fanboy for what?
The French returning to the game.
No.
No, he
He's
was the one.
Portuguese.
He was the one who was raging
DeLorean
that
pilot,
people.
The guy that flies interceptors all the time, like FC's
No,
interceptors.
that's oh no, not FC's.
No.
Me
What do you do
flying
with you?
interceptors.
Your name sounds familiar.
He's over
No.
Yeah,
the
he-
GSFOE stuff.
Oh yeah,
He
you're the
did-
hacker guy.
Yeah, he's
I'm literally
he
clapping my
also,
hands like a little giddy schoolgirl. Sorry.
He also got real butthurt about some poll about who was cuter.
Oh, I won that poll. No,
Did
no,
you?
no, no,
Did
no.
you?
I
No,
won
I
that
don't believe
poll.
it.
Well, that's only because I wasn't in it.
I won that fucking poll, and I'm going to link it right away. Give me a second. Where the fuck is it?
So,
The
Bo,
results of this election are tainted. They are
Oh, they are not. Shut the fuck up.
invalid.
Bo, we have a
It's all been rigged.
we have two questions that we have been asking every guest star on Theta Thursday thus far. So,
I
the
will do
first
them.
question-
Give me a second.
Question.
Let Declarion do it. We got you.
Okay, yeah. It's the straw poll, by the way. It's on Theta Thursdays on the Discord channel. Go for that lobby, like the Theta Thursday one. It's that straw poll. I want it. Fuck it. Okay.
Oh yeah, this
First
is
thing.
a perfect
Second.
opportunity to introduce the brand new Theta Thursday channel on the Imperium News Network Discord. Feel free to join it up and talk about Theta shit all day long that you like.
Alternatively, if you want to talk about my shit, I would be happy to tell you about my
Oh, for
latest battle.
fuck's sake, Syndic.
Or we could talk about unicorn shit. I mean, that's cool too.
Oh my god.
That would have to be real. His poops
Okay.
are real.
So, Declarion, ask your question.
Exactly. So both.
What?
So when you cut a sandwich, which way do you cut a sandwich?
Oh,
I don't.
Jesus. You got
Why
a
are
woman
you
to do
all-
it for you?
So you have to understand. I'm the kind of guy when I'm at home, I eat a steak by literally stabbing my fork into it and starting to eat, like just put it in my mouth. Like I don't cut
You
it.
on
I don't.
cam.
I don't. Yeah, I did that on camera.
That surprises me 0.
Okay. When I go out to eat, sure, but like I don't like my sandwich cut because here's the thing. I think the essence of the food is in the way it's made. I tend to. I tend to. I have a lot of like. I love to cook. Don't get me wrong. I love to cook. I'm not as good as my dad at cooking, but, but I love to cook. And when I cook, you know, like sushi or ramen, and I'm talking like my last ramen I made took 7 hours, right? So I cooked that shit. It was great. But when I cook, you know, I take it like a chef does. Okay, if the food comes together like a hamburger, right, with the bun and the giant slab of meat, and I don't mean like a little slab of meat. Like when I make my own hamburgers, they're a good half pound of meat, right?
So
You got to have a chunk of meat.
You like a big meat?
Yeah, and then like all the goodies, and then the best part of a sandwich is when you take that first big ass bite. You have this big ass
Do you
sandwich.
go corner,
and you just, like,
or center? Do you go corner or like a
round.
leg?
It's a round sandwich. What?
Are you
I just
eating
take a bite of the biggest fucking part of it. Like I
a
just
round sandwich.
Oh.
Are you
you don't know what a hamburger is?
Wait, we mean like a PB and J sandwich
Oh,
more.
okay. Here's the last sandwich I had. Would you guys like to know the last sandwich I had?
yeah,
Like,
yes.
we're talking about fucking Uncrustables or something.
Yeah, that too. I eat those too. But let me
Oh yeah, they're dope.
yeah, I give them to my
Ever microwaved one?
no, but we use them for wrestling, like as a wrestling like a post weigh-in meal because I coach wrestling, you know. But here, let me explain the whole meat thing. All right, so my last sandwich that I really truly enjoyed. Let me tell you what this sandwich was. Okay, You take a big round Italian bread. Okay, it's round Italian. Okay, you cut off the top in like a saw motion. You get the cut off the top. You take out the guts in the center. Then you layer cheese. Okay, steak, cheese, mushroom, steak, cheese, mushroom, steak. Okay,
Wait, in a loaf.
How thick
In a
is
loaf.
steak?
Wait, so you're just making a bread? You're just making a stew in a bread?
No,
bowl
no,
with with no
no.
stew, which is
Hold
meat
on.
instead of stew.
No, it's not a stew because there's no. You just put a little bit of
That's what
steak
I
sauce.
said. That's what
But
I'm saying.
it's just a giant
It's a
sandwich.
dip.
But what
It's
you
a
do is you
dip.
take no. You put the top back on. Okay, then you sandwich press it down to a sandwich. Like you press it down with like either heavy books or you can use what's called a cheese press or sandwich press, whatever.
Panini press, motherfucker.
Yeah, you basically make a panini out of it, but it's a giant slab of fucking like steak. I'm talking like at least a pound of skirt steak here. And then you once it's pressed, then you stick it in like a panini like thingy and like toast it. Drizzle some steak sauce on and then go to town. And there is no corner or middle. It's just whatever happens to more elegantly fit in my mouth as much as humanly possible. As much as will fit.
Hey, Boat.
Yep.
I got a tube of meat that'll fit in your mouth very nicely.
Oh my god! I'm gonna separate you too.
Come
Yeah.
on! How am I not gonna take that one?
Oh man, the
Not
door
too
was
okay.
open.
So
And I need to
I
control
mean, you take it all the time,
For
man.
fuck's sake.
Why'd
Boat
you
was
change?
ready.
And
What?
Torian does that like throughout the show.
Yes,
He changes?
He changes his outfit, and
Yeah.
it's so glorious.
Dude, if I buy you, like, I will have shipped to you, like,
All right, here, hold on. I gotta ask this
hold
question.
on, hold on, Bo! I was in the middle of a fucking. I will buy you a full-blown Austin Powers shirt if you'll wear it, like with the fucking frilly neck thing, Like, if I buy it for you, will you wear it?
Let me Google it.
All right, look up Austin Powers outfit. You'll understand. Okay, so all right, so you asked the thing about the sandwich. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
I don't cut it and I just eat it. It's food.
Honestly, that was the best
Yeah.
answer we've ever gotten to that question.
Oh, the next one's gonna be even
It's
better.
the same answer that I've been giving since the beginning. Like, I don't cut sandwiches. Like, what the fuck?
Who fuck cuts a sandwich, right? Like,
Exactly,
And
like-
okay, now here's the thing.
You
I
cut
won't cut a-
subs, not
no, stop.
sandos.
I won't cut a sandwich, but if someone cuts it, like as a chef, then that's cut. Like if they cut it,
No.
fine. But I will not cut my own sandwich because there's no point. Do you cut
Exactly.
sushi in half? Do you take sushi and cut it in half after you roll it? No, you eat
No,
the sushi.
I eat it
That's
in
it.
one bite like a fucking man.
Look, I could imagine someone in this chat, just saying, taking their sushi and cut it at diagonal after it's been served sashimi. Okay? This is what I'm picturing right now. Someone who cuts a sandwich. Okay, if you're okay, hold on a second. Kieran O'Bannon, have you ever been to a sushi bar where it costs you about, $50 to $100?
Are you just calling
That's
out
the
random
question.
people
Oh,
in
I
the
am.
chat right
I'm
now?
talking about. Hold on. Have you ever been to a proper sushi bar? That's the question. If you
I'm
haven't,
about to give you a ping for the
you have that-
best sushi on the planet, according to me.
okay, hold on. Before we move on, what was your second question? She said you had two.
Yes. So the second
Yeah.
question.
So, second question is: when you take a bath, you start from the bottom or from the top?
Oh,
A
shower.
shower.
all right,
We call
all right,
it-
okay.
Shower.
Answer the man's
We call it a
question.
shower in English land.
Answer the man's question. When I take a bath, usually it's a jacuzzi bath that's big enough to fit my fat ass. But let's say I get into one of those tiny ass tubs, which I have on occasion when I'm feeling it. So what I'll do is I'll get myself a bottle of wine, okay, some really yummy cheese. I'll get that shit all bubbly, and I'll sit in there and
No
soak.
olives?
We are talking about
You're
showers.
not gonna top off your wine cheese plate with olives? What the fuck, Boat?
The olives are not for that. Okay, so we have.
Wait, where did the olives go?
I'll tell you in a minute. So you have your bath, right? Then that's what you do. You sit there for a good hour, and what happens is if you do it right, if you have a bath right, the water just gets all fucking like nasty and shit. Like you've soaked in that motherfucker, right? Then you wash off with nice cold water. Okay, that's how I would do a bath. Now,
Okay.
to answer the question about a shower,
Hold
okay,
on. Let me just say that is the bath equivalent of showering bottom to top.
no, it's
Or,
not.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yes,
hold
it
on.
is. You do. You
Like-
fucking clean yourself off and then you soak in the water. I'm
I don't
sorry.
clean my-
Finish. Go ahead.
No, clean myself.
We'll argue in a moment.
The point
Tell
of
me
a
how
bath,
you would do a shower.
Hold on, no, we'll get there in a minute. The point of a bath is not, I repeat, okay, imagine this, all right? All right, I think my grandmother told me this once, my great-grandmother before she passed, okay? My great-grandmother survived the Depression. To give you some context, she had $2,700 in the bank. It all went away the day of the Depression. Okay, so let me explain this one. All right, so this is what she told me. She goes, the point of a bath is to get to those places the shower never gets to. You just sit in there, soak. You let that water that soapy, messy water just go to work, right? And then after a little bit, you wash it all off. Okay, that's how
I'm
it
with you,
treats
like-
treats. Right? You don't like. I understand like how in like Japan when they go to a bath, they get a shower first, then they get into the nice, awesome bath to like relax and steam. That's a jacuzzi. Yeah, I'll get a shower before a jacuzzi. I'm talking like a bath that's designed to wash my ass. The crevices
difference
around my
between a
body.
shower and a jacuzzi.
Spoken like a man with a shower head that doesn't detach.
It does actually. So, actually,
Yeah,
my
we-
shower used to detach. I don't anymore because I have a waterfall shower and it's fucking the best. If you don't have
But
a waterfall shower,
Also,
bust it out.
here's the thing, like, Don, how are you not on this? Because
Are you
if you
smoking inside, you fucking dirty bastard?
fucking inside, what the fuck? Do I live in the third world country when I don't have
Actually,
shit
in
to
America,
do?
we don't look inside anymore because it makes your walls dirty. Just saying.
I
And
paint
it's
my
fucking
walls like
nasty.
Okay, well, anyways, moving on. To answer your question about a shower, I was an athlete my whole life, and until I became an adult, and then I became fat. But anyway, so I did college sports, and I did athletics, and I was coached by world class coaches who were coaches of like the world team, and one of my coaches is now the one of the Olympic coaches for the U.S. wrestling team. But anyway, to kind of like tell you like how I've always taken a shower is like basically how they taught me, right? So as an athlete, especially with wrestling, there's a lot of chances you can get like funguses because you're grinding on a surface that can give like kind of like what they call mat burn or rug burn. It's pretty common actually, especially on your knees and like your elbows and stuff. But the problem with that is like when you can get that to happen, the sand that's in the ground from people's like walking on it with their dirty ass shoes can sometimes rub in and you can get what's called ringworm, right? But here's how you stop ringworm. You take a fucking shower. You become clean. So I got ringworm once in my life because I didn't know what it was. And we had went to like Puerto Rico and I didn't trust their showers, let's be honest, because we were all outdoors and it was kind of water would seem dirtier than the sweat that I had on my body. And so I got it once in my like 10 years of wrestling, right? But like, so we were always told, right? You start with the top, like you get the hair, right? And then you clean. Once you wash your hair, you get rid of that shit. You get it off you, right? So now the top, like neck up, is clean. Then you go to the shoulders and the body, right? You really work on that part. Right? Now that's clean. Now the upper half of you is clean, right? Okay. So then when you go to do the bottom half, that washes off, and then you do your feet. And you have to focus on the feet because a lot of people forget this, especially athletes.
Oh yeah, focus on the feet.
You don't focus on the feet, you'll get what they call like foot fungus. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
terribly
yeah.
disappointed at you both.
And that shit's nasty. Let me tell you, I got it once.
Very disappointed at you because if you have like the bath talk, because I do exactly the same. The people that normally do shaving do exactly the same. When you take a bath, you first take the bath and then you take the shower. Okay, because like you want the bath because your skin needs
just
to get
relax.
moisturized like that, and
Water
so you can
dries your
shave
skin
all the
before you-
body.
But here's another reason though. The people that wash from feet up are dirty. Here's why. Okay, I just washed my feet. I got them all clean. I just washed my balls. I got them clean. Now I go up and I wash my armpits, those dirty, sweaty ass armpits, and I wash all that water that's now been washed, like, because like when I do my arms and my like body, like I really get out. Like I have a like what do they call it? Like a shower brush, and I really like fucking scrub. Like there is not a fucking lick of dead skin on my body when I'm done every shower. And I shower, twice a day, right? Because I teach and I don't want my kids thinking I smell. So you gotta like all that dead skin gets washed off, when you wash that soap off. So if you go from bottom up, all that nasty shit is now going on your balls.
No, listen to me.
What?
Just a second. So what I do is I go from bot to top first, okay?
Mhm.
So I can get the most of it out. Like if you have like imagine, I don't know, I went to the beach and my feet are dirty, they have sand and shit like that. So first I go to take those bits, like the really sand and shit like that. So I go from feet to up just with water, just to take the most of it out. And then I shower with shampoo and all of that shit from top to bottom.
Oh, yeah, I let the water get all over me. Like, so someone asked in chat, I think they said...
like, I do a rinse before.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. So someone said in chat, do you do the shaft before or after? And that depends. Post-sex, you do the shaft first, then you do the body, and you go from top bottom, right? And the reason you do the shaft first is because who knows where that woman's been, or man.
I know where she has been, but
right. So you never know where they've been. So you got to get the shaft right away. You got to get it. Got to take care of it.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. And we're having lots of fun.
Sorry about this. What? What do you do with your rubber ducky? Hold on a second.
Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you.
That's copyrighted, and I'm gonna have to stop you so we don't get like flagged.
Please, so we don't get killed.
No,
you want to get flagged? Let me tell you what is bringing down Western civilization.
Give it up, dudes. Nobody believes any Eve player knows how to bathe themselves properly. No,
so for real though, like the boat has a really good point. DeClorian, you do have a good point as well. A lot of people don't know this that are probably listening, but I have a pretty significant medical background. Out of everybody, if we ever went to a goon meet, Boat, I would probably feel safe hugging you because I feel like you actually clean yourself properly. Like other people, kind of questionable, man.
Wait, did you just Dr. shame us?
I'm feeling disappointed right now.
DeClorian, like you're good too, man. It's just like the way that Boat described it, like from the top down, and that's great because a lot of people don't realize like you can transfer shit from your feet to other places, and if you did pick up like say athlete's foot, okay, athlete's foot can travel, man. You can get that infection other places like your head or your balls.
Wear flip-flops in public showers, you nasty fucks.
Yes.
No, actually, I don't. No.
Shower shoes.
My dad does. I don't. I wash my feet.
Socks.
But here's the thing. I don't wear socks with sandals. Dirty people do. I don't.
Yeah.
Weird people do. I don't. But here, let me tell you this. So, no matter how much I like try to take care of my feet and hands, because I'm kind of a clean freak with those two places. The way that I sit on my computer chair, like I have this gigantic like leather desk chair, right? And the way that I sit in it is I rock the seat itself back. I sit straight up, and then I have my feet kind of like on the like legs, like the feet part. But my feet are always like they feel like they're never clean enough. So like I don't know. I just don't like touching my floor. No matter how clean my floor is. So it's like I have my feet up on the chair, right? But they always get really sore on the bottom of the feet because they rub against like the end of the chair. And I never figured that out. It's weird. Bro, it's strangely likable despite its random conversation.
I just showed my feet on the screen in case you haven't noticed.
God,
there's nothing wrong. Oh, hold on. So someone in chat says it seems like boat kids have hitchhikers. What would be wrong with that? That would improve their lives, if anything.
Well, I mean, if you're next to a prison and there's like a sign that states "Don't pick up hitchhikers," it'd probably be a bad idea.
Why?
Just saying.
Why would that be a bad idea? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like I don't look.
Some kind of government bootlicker
I had
to end up in that fucking cage. It's actually barbaric.
Okay, my grandmother is a good. Okay, my grandmother is a good Christian. Okay,
should we euthanize them?
You're gonna like this. Listen here. You're gonna like this story. My grandmother is a great Christian lady, right? and I picked up. I picked this guy up 3 times over the course of like 5 years. I don't know why, but somehow I always run into him, and he always tells me, he needs to get to work or he needs to, and he works at the same place, and he's got a mental issue, and you could tell he struggles. Okay, but for some reason, I don't know why. Like the last 5 years, I've run into him like 3 times, and I've always given him a ride, and it always freaks my grandmother out because my grandmother always assumes everyone's gonna try to kill her if she gives them a ride, no matter how like Christian she is. I mean, this woman hasn't cursed in 50 years, but yet she still gets panicky. I tell her I picked up a stranger off the street and kind of kidnapped him for
comfort.
2 points. 1, Gundi Pont flip flops with socks. I'm pretty sure there's a law against that in some country. Like
only
2,
only if you play sports is it allowed.
though that's just fucking wrong.
No, I do.
And 2, I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against like picking up hitchhikers because I always feel like the defaults, if they do like try to attack me or try something, I've always wanted to combat roll my vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
See,
well, I think it's more about comfort level because I know like I would never pick anybody up that I didn't know, but that's because I don't feel confident in protecting myself if like shit started going down.
Boat, are you?
I mean, I
anti-vaccine?
do. It's
Oh, here's an important question. Boat, are you anti-vaccine? No, I am not, and I'm getting my flu shot probably this week for free because my school provides it for free.
nice.
If someone says, "Boat, do you has a freezer full of steak?" I actually do. Every
Like I said,
October.
Never trust somebody with
We
a
get
deep
half a cow.
freezer. Never trust somebody with a deep freezer or a pig pen. Okay, a pig farm. Just saying.
Or
Well,
a tiger
actually-
den. Or a tiger den. We
Or a
learned that
ti-
recently.
She did it. She did it.
I couldn't watch it. I watched like the first episode of Tiger King and was like, this is so unbelievably stupid. I had to turn it off.
Don't piss that lady off, because meow.
Unexplainable amount of sardine oil.
So I've got a question for Boat and DeClorian.
Uh-huh.
Is cereal a soup or a stew?
Neither.
It's neither.
Neither. It's
Cereal.
literally bread and milk. It's literally bread and milk. I don't give a fuck what you want to call it, but it's literally bread with lots of milk. And if anything, when I eat my cereal, because we're talking about food,
That's fucking question.
It's
overloaded with milk. More milk.
It's
than
a
cereal.
dip. It's a dip. Like it's like a salsa. It sure is. Yeah.
We're
It's a
talking
dip.
about cereal like milk and cereals.
Milk and cereal. Yeah, that's a dip. Like technically,
Who
you're
said
just
that
throwing
question?
you're throwing all the chips in the salsa. Is what it is.
But then is it a dip if all of the stuff is already in it and you're not actually dipping anything in it?
I mean, sure you are. You're just scooping it out with a spoon. It's just a dip that
No,
you're
no,
being.
no.
It's
No,
being
no, no.
assisted.
Biggest question than this. So you put the milk first or the cereal first?
Milk.
I put. You're a freak. No.
No,
Cereal
because
first.
when I eat my cereal, it's at 6 a.m. before I go to work because I usually leave at 6:30, and I don't want to wake up the whole damn house. So milk goes in first, cereal goes in quietly.
So
That's if I eat cereal.
Yeah.
as much
And then
as
you
I
just make a
Still kind
mess
of barbaric.
everywhere.
Get enough cereal in because the milk is taking up too much space.
So as much as we would love, I would love to continue talking about the most random bullshit. I do want to touch a little bit on Eve this week. And,
For fuck's sake,
and
Mifune.
what's been going
It's
on?
okay,
Yeah, it's part of the show, DeClorian. Deal with it. But I
believe
do
this
want
is
to.
Theta Thursday. We don't talk about Eve. Just saying.
Eve all the time.
We
We're
do talk about
obsessed
Eve
with-
all the time.
This is where everybody leaves the chat.
Yeah,
Watch.
I know. I swear. One of the things that I wanted to touch on, I guess you could say, Boat. Have you heard about the quantum cores yet, Boat? Or are you
of course.
absent on that? What do you think of them?
We talked about that all last week, though.
I think
That was last week? Okay, was it? I'm sorry. I've barely played Eve this week. There is, about the Roracle changes. Yes, definitely the Roracle changes. All Roracles are getting a damage boost. We are going to use them as battle Rorks instead of our Titans. Come invade
Wait, hold
Delve.
on.
We have 8,000
Can you
Roracles.
Can you
So
elaborate?
no, it was more of a joke, but like, you know, Oracles. They're
Serious.
getting a buff. The change is that they're getting guns.
What?
No, Boat. It's a joke. They're not. They didn't change
The
oracles
big
at all.
change though is
They shoot
roll-
rainbows out of a unicorn horn. I'm pretty sure that's right. Let me read the patch notes.
Wait.
big
Did
change right
Boat?
now is
Did the big red boat just fall for a boat troll?
No. I haven't been around all week, so honestly,
currently
if you told me they were getting guns, I'd probably believe you because mining lasers are guns. It's not about a troll. I'm sorry.
The biggest change with the mods right now is you can now abyssal roll capital mods. So siege modules, capital reps, things like that can get rolled.
Brisk, almost any meme is older than Mifune. Come on, man.
Oh, by the way, I feel like I've met Mifune somewhere.
You have a few times.
Is he in one of your classes?
I met you in New York City, didn't I?
No.
He's gonna flunk you, Mifune. I hope you did your homework.
You haven't met me in like actual life yet.
Excuse me. Mifune is not old enough to be one of my students in middle school.
I'm older than that. A little bit older.
So, I did see, because Brisk is in here, and I know Kumi's been working on it. It's taking Fountain back in waves.
They are?
Oh my god, I saw the other day.
Like half the region in a day. From
did
Sav.
Did they drop any new Citadels yet? Because if they haven't, then it doesn't count.
They didn't kill most of the Citadels over there. They killed a good chunk, but not all of them. So we still have 2 faction forts and a bunch of Athenors and things like that out there.
Okay.
See, that's what I was going to say. Is I think it'd be a great meme if we dropped another Keepstar in Y2 just to make them have to come back down and try to kill it in Fountain.
Oh my god, Brisk has his own happy face. That's terrifying, Brisk.
No, but Brisk, man, I gotta give you props. The other day I was looking for content and I'm looking on Dotland and I'm like, maybe I could go hunt some, pandemic heart. What?
What?
I was like, maybe I could go kill some PH in Fountain. And next thing you know, I look at the Fountain Dotland map and it's like every freaking iHub up the pipe is refed.
Slurp. What?
What are you slurping?
Oh, sorry. Mifune was on his knees for someone. Sorry.
Yes.
How did nobody pick that up what I was doing? Jesus Christ.
Well, Mifune was talking. It was a little hard.
Mifune was talking about how great
Brisk
is.
Was it hard? I mean...
See, Brisk got the joke. God damn.
But it's funny. So, literally last week, Redline was on here saying, "Oh yeah, they're ratting and found ratting."
Wait, you let Redline on here before you let me on here?
I actually invited you the first week. Said you were welcome anytime, and you never showed up.
No, you didn't.
You were welcome to. I said, and I quote, "You can come to Thursday anytime you want."
No, but that's not a direct invite like you did the other day. That don't count. You gotta really PM me. Like you did
exactly.
Redline.
I said exactly the same thing. You need to personally invite me, give me an email.
You invited Redline. You didn't.
Okay.
Wow. It's like I told Pando the other day. Like he had all these FCs and he was up to FC Chat 27 before he bothered to invite me. And I
didn't even invite Redline.
He begged you?
It's like, please let me on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he does have that weird ass show, Trash Talk Tuesday, which is kind of weird. I never understood that show. Anyway, since I've distracted you long enough,
Billy and them can all.
Can we get back to talking about the war? So, I heard that Snuff has been doing a great job of their war against some low sec people, and yeah, that's the only war I know about right now.
Well, there's no war in Delve, so that
no, I've been fighting the war against PanFam, but that's only in Fountain, when Asher feels like doing ops. But I heard they left Fountain, so I guess that's over with.
There's my love-hate war against the Diamond Rats. I love them, but I hate them.
You're not blue to them? Oh man, you gotta learn
I mean,
blue to them.
one of my ults is blue to them. I'm not going to tell you which one, but it's
Mifune?
Mifune is my ult.
That's
great.
Brave is hitting things in Aquarius, but Other than that, nobody else is really doing anything. We just kind of sit around Delve waiting for the supposed war to show up.
I have I will say this, okay? This is the third time someone's tried to evict me from Delve. So I've learned a method to the madness. Fuck forever any kind of like Citadel fees for like asset safety. You just take all the good, like all your good shit, right? All your officer loot, all the stuff that you don't care to lose, and you put that shit in like 319 or something, or PR Dash, or one of the NPC stations, and then you just live off your subsistence, like the shit that you need. Or in my case, buy new stuff because I always forget that I have stuff waiting there. And that's the best way to deal with it. Literally the best way. It's really awesome. What?
I don't know. I kind of like asset safety. I'm slowly mapping all of the NPC stations throughout the map.
Here's the problem with asset safety. It costs you 10% of your wealth. Right? Like, fuck that. Like, what?
Like, I have Supers and Titans with no, like...
Why is Victorian doing his... Wait, what?
He does, like, the weirdest things. He's got, like, an attention issue. So if the chat isn't giving him enough attention, he starts doing things.
One of my students.
He just to keep up chat, to keep them entertained, because that keeps them happy.
I am the entertainment of this show. Okay?
Why do you have to entertain the chat with that? I mean, I'm pretty sure my vocal cords are doing a great job of that today.
He's taking it on himself to do it. This is nothing we told him to do. Okay. He just starts talking with them.
I'm an animal. Like how do you say? Fucking actor. I don't know how to say the name. Fucking continue with what you were saying.
That's fucking cool. I was wondering.
Oh, I'm an architect, to be honest. That's more accurate.
Actor. There's a black couch involved in his acting.
My acting has a red dot on the corner of your screen. But no, I'm not an actor. I'm more like officially I'm an architect, so whatever.
But so I don't know what's going on with the snuff side that much, because
I heard there's been a struggle. There's been a struggle from what I hear, and I believe a couple of weeks ago Snuff got hit really hard, but they're seeming to bounce back on everything.
I mean, they at least get $1 trillion fights, whereas like Pappy's over there just like hiding.
I think there's a troll on Reddit we need to address right now.
Which troll?
Which one?
Apparently there's a post on Reddit saying Alpha Star has quit.
So Alpha Star has quit due to reasons? No. Apparently he's legitimately quitting because he's got some personal issues that he's working out, and from what I hear, everybody is supporting him on his decision to take time back so that he can focus on his personal life and everything, and I personally respect that.
I mean, if it is real that he's like taking a break for that reason, cool. But if it's a troll, that's a bad troll, especially today, because considering what today is, yeah, that's not a good troll. So if someone's trolling, that might be really bad.
I don't think it's a troll, to be honest with you. Yeah, exactly. Like in game.
It literally just came up today.
Yeah,
I still prefer the Keepstar troll bot, and thank you for that.
What Keepstar troll?
Oh no, sorry.
Too, just to like make to come back. Or is it the fact that we dropped like 3 more?
For those who don't know, today is Suicide Awareness Day, right?
It's the whole month. Yeah. The whole month is Suicide Awareness.
The whole month is.
Well, this week is, but like I know, like for example, yesterday they were doing like a tribute to Avicii on one of my favorite radio stations. He was a really famous EDM artist who committed suicide. So it's like this whole week is like awareness and prevention week.
I actually was a pretty big fan. I didn't know that. That
was like a year or two ago, I think.
Well, I mean, I hopscotch across the planet, so me and pop culture don't exactly like sync. So, like, I'll drop off of the map for like a few years and then pop back up again.
Yeah. Speaking of interesting things, Have you guys ever seen the movie? Okay, all right. This is gonna make you all laugh. Have you ever seen the movie Kiss of the Dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not Kiss of the Dragon. The Bruce Lee one. Is it Kiss of the Dragon? Or is
Enter
it
the Dragon?
Enter the Dragon?
Enter
Yeah,
the Dragon.
the one where he like goes to the island to fight the like martial artist fight.
Doesn't he fight like Chuck Norris in that one, or is that a different
No,
one?
that's not. That's a different. Or maybe that is that one. I don't know. What's the one where he like goes to the island to participate in a tournament and he's really like an undercover cop? What is that one? And the guy's like doing like meth production or whatever there or something like that, or heroin production. Fuck. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is in Black Desert Online, they released a new expansion, and Enter the Dragon. And in the new expansion, they released the Assassin, and it's the first time a Japanese game has ever made like a black character like this. So my character actually looks like I made his face and everything, his body look like the guy from that movie. And I'm trying to remember the actor's name right now, but I like copied the fro and the sideburns and everything. But here's the problem. BDO, all the characters are made to look like twinkly, like anime stereotypes.
Yeah.
So I had this like really badass looking like 1970s black exploitation badass who has twinkly eyes, makeup, and is wearing jewelry on his face. So let me get you some pictures in chat while you guys continue the story. You're gonna find this really funny. So hold on, let me get you this. I'm gonna get you some pictures while you guys continue talking about Eve.
What do we need to talk about Eve now?
Well, I had
you guys
two
are gonna like
things.
this.
I had two things that were brought up on Theta comms, and the guys aren't available for, on this time zone, so I thought I'd bring it up for them. Jonas ML brought up they thought that with CCP being so disconnected, the policies and procedures that they had in place to not be in major alliances, to not be part of all of those big blocks around the map, they really feel like a lot of these changes, all of these recent nerfs really affect that, and that if they would have done this sooner, we might not have ever seen these changes. But now he feels that it's too little too late, and now it's kind of going to start a snowball effect.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, they
Just
keep
wanna say
adding
publicly, fuck you, Dax.
content in, and that is kind of meant for like high sec and wormhole players, and then they keep ruining the content that we do have in nullsec because of whatever fucking reason. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do abyssal sites. I've tried them. I don't want to do them. I don't know why you keep iterating on that instead of making like anything in nullsec somewhat palpable.
You need to understand the reason they're doing the abyssal site thing is EVE Online's about 3 years behind recommendations when they do things. I'll explain in a second. I want you guys to see this picture. So I made my character look like this guy in the image there, but after I was done and I bought this costume and put the costume on him, he looks more like this guy.
How did you link an image and not get like
Because
banned from
he's
chat like I did earlier?
moderator.
That's great, Vote. I love that.
Vote. That's
So I
also
went from looking
hilarious.
like badass
Super
70s
badass.
to Daft Punk animated character. Twinkles.
It's like
That's great.
it's like GTA 5 or something when you go into like a custom cutscene and your custom character just has that wacky ass outfit.
Yeah, so here I'll show you. Hold on, let me because I think I could share my screen. And
Yeah.
you could
I can
here we go.
project it. It's gonna take over DeClorian's thing, but I can do it.
There, I went live. There you go. So
All right,
that's
if
what
I
he's
go
supposed to look like. Like, like badass 70s dude. He's got this like twinkle in his eye and the jewelry on the face.
You have to make it bigger. It's too small.
Yeah, hold up. I got this.
Make it
Let's see
take
if
up
I
the
can get-
entire screen.
I'm not making it take up the entire screen. I'm not dumb.
Oh, you can put DeClorian's entire face on the screen, but you can't do this. There.
Exactly.
He's pretty good though. You did a pretty good job.
Yeah, but he's got like this twinkle in his eye, and it's like, what the fuck? Okay, I almost stopped sharing my screen now.
What game is this?
Black Desert Online. It's I tried it once, but in my personal opinion, it just took up way too much space. Not space. There's just so much content in that game.
Yeah. There's a great
Isn't
quote
Black Desert Online like the biggest like pay to win out there?
No.
I think it's the biggest grind fest out there.
No, it could be the biggest pay to win. $100,000 on the game in a month is not surprising for some whales. But anyway, yeah, there's a quote in chat where it says, "When it comes, I won't even notice. I'll be too busy looking good." It's from the actor Jim Carrey. Anyway, the whole point is the abyssal thing. So let me explain. About 5 years ago, a vast majority of us went to CCP, and for about a year or two, well, maybe it was like 6 years ago, I don't know, when I went to FanFest. And it was like, look, you need to put instance PvE in the game, kind of like WoW has and other like really good games, because the problem without instance PvP is that you end up in a situation where anyone can kill you. But with like instance PvP and engaging PvP, or not PvP, PvE, it like makes you feel like you're part of the action, and you can focus on really going ham on your PvE content that's enjoyable without the risk of losing your ship to someone else like in the PvE thing. I think instance PvE is what's good for gaming. But that's just my opinion because I know things about games and I'm smart. So but yeah, that's just my opinion.
Well, for people that have the attention span of a goldfish, that's fine. Like that's great. But mostly EVE Online is, it used to be the long haul. Like it was about the plan that you were going to, and it wasn't about like let's skill inject this 2-week-old character into a bomber, and oh wait, I want to be able to kill the most badass thing in the game in under a minute because I paid for it.
No, see, there's a little difference than that though, right? Like, let me explain that. Like, I believe Titan rating's fair and balanced. I think a Titan should be able to clear a site in 30 seconds or whatever the DD takes to do it.
Yeah, especially after how much you skilled and paid to get into the damn thing.
No,
that's a really good.
No, that's not why. That's not why, because that's the PL fallacy. PL used to have this fallacy of our fleet's worth 2 trillion ISK, and we're risking 2 trillion ISK, so it should be overpowered and control everything. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Titan should be able to clear content in 30 seconds because CCP is too lazy to introduce content that's designed for Titans, that's Titan only. So, for example, I think there should be PvE in the game that's linear and scaling. Okay, if you're in an Ishtar and you go into a cruiser size anomaly, okay, if you go in there with an Ishtar, it should be difficult and pay out accordingly. Okay,
but doable.
So doable, right? But if you roll in there with a super carrier, your payout's going to be garbage, right? The bigger the ship is in terms of scaling, the less the payout should be because you're doing a cruiser size anomaly. So it should like what is the term like when things become less in value, depreciated value maybe, or no, that's not it. What's the term like if we're buying power is not as much inflation? Is it inflation?
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, it should be like diminishing returns, right? The more DP, like it should be based on your DPS. So, like for example, a Titan may do 30,000 DPS, and a cruiser anomaly site may only require 500 DPS. So anything over 500, it's going to have diminishing returns in terms of payout. And as you add more DPS, the amount of money you get from that rat diminishes. Okay. Then as you work your way up to a higher tier, this is another thing that BDO gets right? Yeah, sure. With my like insanely powerful character on the season server, I can go to a lower tier grinding spot and I can blaze through that shit like there's no tomorrow. But no matter how fast I clear the content, right? I'm not gonna get the reward from clearing it super fast. Whereas if I went to a place that's really challenging and difficult, I'm gonna get an equal reward for my challenging time. I may kill 5 or 6 mobs every few minutes, but those 5 or 6 mobs are going to pay me way more than the 150 mobs I kill every few minutes in a smaller site. And I think that's where EVE is lacking. The problem is right now, we've said this for about 6 years, this is what other games and MMOs tend to do right, is that you get into a situation where the PvE content becomes stale. Why? Because a super carrier that's glass cannon fit, that's running on a bot, can clear an anomaly in a minute and a half, stop to start, and is in a new site 30 seconds later because of hyperspatials. To give you an example, one FRT system had 18 super carriers ratting. 18.
Which shouldn't even be possible.
That was killing 96,000 rats a day. The highest system ever in Delve was 52,000.
Hey, Mifune, weren't you doing a
yes? So I was waiting
on that.
I was waiting for Boat to finish, but Boat, I'm not sure if you heard, but me and Caleb, who is on Push to Talk, yeah. So for the past 2 weeks, me and him have been doing research on botting in EVE, and not only in EVE, but botting in other MMOs and cheating in MMORPGs, and possible solutions that CCP and other developers can, and different routes they can choose to eliminate the problem. And tomorrow night at 2000 EVE time, that's tomorrow afternoon, kind of right before dinner time for most people, 4 p.m. Eastern or 20 EVE time, we are going to be doing the first ever Push to Talk extra show, and it's going to cover our research that we've been doing for the past 2 weeks.
Well, you have fun with that, but I gotta tell you something. BDO does an excellent job of dealing with bots. Let me explain how. It's impossible to RMT in BDO. And what do I mean by that? The game sets a 15% flat tax on the market. So if I sell an item worth 3 billion, I'm only gonna get 2.75 or whatever, right? Like I sold an item yesterday for 2.5 billion silver, and I only got 2.3. Okay, so if I was to buy somebody's real life item for silver, I'm not gonna, like, that person's not gonna get what they put in. It's like diminishing. And on top of that, yeah, I'm sure people could buy costumes with real money and then list it for silver and get the money. But in the terms of RMT, that you can't pull that money out. You can't like have someone give you $20 and then you hand them a billion silver. The only way that transactions occur in the game is through the marketplace. But here's the problem: all the really like expensive good shit, okay, is handled via the auction house, and it's a lottery. So let's say I want to have somebody buy me something really expensive in the game through RMT, okay? There might be 50 other orders, and so the guy goes and buys me something with his, $20, and then lists it on the market. I may not get it because it's a lottery system if the item's in high demand. So it's kind of hard to do like RMT shop stuff, like buy stuff off the like real money auction house kind of thing and put it on the in-game auction house. Yeah.
One of the things
I do believe it does feel like you are sponsoring BDO. Like, did they slip you a 20 somewhere? Or
he said to mute him, so I muted.
$50 or $50.
But to answer your question, no, I'm not sponsored by BDO. But since this is the EVE Online talk show, correct? And I do believe that Pearl Abyss owns EVE Online.
They do. They do.
I'm what's called
it's
a
hilarious.
Shill. Yeah, I'm called a shill for the company line.
So, but what you're saying is, oh my God, please, Pearl Abyss, give me sponsorship, please.
No, it's more like, oh my God, take over development from these incompetent fools.
Theta Thursday brought to you by BDO and Raid Shadow Legends. That is hilarious. Let me guys tell you about Raid. Raid Shadow Legends is a great MMORPG for your phone.
It's a boring game.
The reason I'm talking about BDO so much is that they have controlling interest of EVE Online, but they were kind of cowards in a way and didn't like take over the house like they should have.
Well,
and I get why they did, but at the same time, I'm sorry. They've had 15 years almost to get this shit right, and they still haven't fixed it yet. So they need to give somebody else like that knows how to fix MMOs an opportunity. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, okay.
Do you have a link for me?
The game doesn't have a fucking NPC system. It's dumb.
It is
it's
bullshit.
So dumb. Even in BDO,
there's like no balance.
Inhospitable places still have towns.
Well, there's no balance. Like, okay, So the ratting out wherever frat in Awasa is still like reasonably decent, right?
That's called body.
Like what type of rats are out in Awasa? I don't know.
Bots.
No, besides
The rats
bots.
themselves are like the same as ours. They're havens.
Are they? Well, no. Are they angel? Are they Garista? Are they angels?
Drones.
The
And they have
drone?
omni resistance.
So this is a thing.
damage.
I'm going to interrupt you here. So this is something that I am going to be bringing up tomorrow, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want you guys to go watch stuff tomorrow. But one of the things, one of the mindsets that I want to put you in here for a second. CCP can't code, right? It's been 15 years. Like you just said, but like it's been 15 years and they still haven't figured this out, right? I think it's a known thing that CCP can't code for shit. You know, they're basically. What? Instead of trying to change the game to prevent botters, and instead of going after the people who bot, go after the botting program itself and go after the dev who made it. Lawsuits, DMCAs.
What's that?
DMCA is basically a cease and desist. Okay, you were joking, but like that's one of the things I'm going to be bringing up tomorrow because quick points, right? In 2011, 2011 I think it was, Blizzard sued a literal company in China that was designed, it was a 50-man like business place, and the Blizzard team in China sued them for gold farming in World of Warcraft. They won the lawsuit within 3 days. And that entire business got shut down.
Talking in Crying in Stations.
Did they? Maybe, I don't know. I never watched Crying in Stations, so Lord knows. But
I saw this conversation
in 2018.
A little bit somewhere.
In 2018, Epic Games, the people that made Fortnite, sued a 17-year-old kid who made a cheat for Fortnite. They sued him, a 17-year-old kid, mind you, and they won that lawsuit within 3 days. And just 2 weeks ago, 2020, Activision Blizzard sued a cheat developer for Call of Duty and won the lawsuit within 3 days. It is entirely possible that if you cut out the middleman there and go right after the people that make these bots, you could get rid of the bot. And then you get rid of all subsequent botters along with it.
So my question is, Boat, do you have a link for me to join video?
Oh my god.
No, Black Blizzard Online
should be able to Google.
And I think you have to pay a one-time thing, but yeah. Anyway, the point is, look, you gotta understand. You gotta understand.
Minecraft.
So, there's just so many things that, like what? Cloppy, fuck off. So there's so many things about Eve that like it's concerning. Oh, by the way, you shouldn't play Fortnite. You should play the new Fortnite.
I thought they had
called
like phone
Shadow.
The spell thing. Yeah, I'm playing that shit right now. Yeah.
I've been playing what Walking in Stations should have been. I've been playing Dead Space for a while.
Yeah.
Just finished Dead Space 3 last night. Fucking awesome. CCP, take some notes, please.
Fall Guys. Excuse me.
I didn't like Fall Guys. I tried it out one night. I refunded it. I couldn't. I didn't like it.
I tried today for the first time the spell break thing, and yeah, I'm having some fun.
Yep.
It's enjoyable.
Bo, did you agree with the boson changes?
What boson changes?
When they took them from being like actually useful in killing stuff to like they can't kill anything below a battleship.
No, and the reason for that is that the problem with the changes to all that stuff is that, like, for example, the I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it. I think. Oh, boson. The problem is it relies on SIG, and I'm sorry, it's the dumbest thing ever that this game still, however many years on, uses SIG to like deal with things in the game. Like, I think SIG is the dumbest aspect of this game, period. Like, yeah, I understand that an interceptor should be tiny and not shootable, but I don't think gun tracking should be determined based on SIG, because it just promotes people to actually SIG tank ships that otherwise would eat shit. Because think about real life.
Like a fucking Orthrus running around, you can't
like,
catch it.
No, like real life, right? Like if somebody rolled up in World War II with a fleet of 10 battleships and 10 battle cruisers and like 10 regular cruisers, I'm sorry, your 30 destroyers are going to eat shit. One battleship round is going to blow a hole in your deck. In one of the cases in the U.S. Destroyer fleet, a U.S. destroyer took 47 battleship rounds and motherfucking exploded. There is no such
we
thing.
We have Mike flooding channel now. Fuck's sake!
Everybody run!
You got. It's Friday, dude. You gotta go to work or school, so you should be in bed.
Oh yeah, it is
Thursday, and I work tomorrow morning, but I don't think I'm
What?
gonna work because weather.
You're not going to school?
Not for another week.
Oh, ew.
So,
Okay.
You give up on school or what?
Yeah, he quit.
No, they just haven't. My school doesn't start for another week, and I was
Oh,
just.
they
like,
did the set you. Okay.
I was gonna be on earlier, but then was fighting Evictus for a while, so.
Yeah, no, sick tanking I think is really dumb. Because
Sick
it's just
tanking
that,
is dumb.
like, there is nothing, like if a real space battle. Okay, if a real space battle happened in space, the size of the ship is irrelevant. Okay, because I guarantee you, if the fucking Death Star's Death Beam of Doom launched its happy ass at a like fucking little tiny
Group
ass,
of Cormorants?
like a group of what are they, X-wings? Those fucking things are dead. I'm sorry, they're done. They're dead. All right. Like,
Could you
I'm
imagine
sorry.
how this quote unquote invasion would be if
Eve
we still had our boson?
Like, imagine it wouldn't matter. Test use them more than we do. But in EVE Online, like my big gigantic ass torpedo on my Leviathan. Okay, this thing is so massive of a missile that if you were to compare it in the US, the motherfucker is 90 meters tall. Okay, that's the size of a nuclear, like a 20 megaton nuclear fucking
I don't know how
rocket.
they load that.
And the thing is like the Leviathan shoots 3 per missile launcher at the same time. Okay, potentially 4, and up to 7 or 6 of these things. So you're basically shooting off 24 fucking nukes every time you fire, every 19 seconds. Okay, so that smashes into a frigate. Okay, that frigate is 400 meters long. Okay, and you mean to tell me that little ass frigate takes 0 damage from that big ass missile? The fuck out of here. And standing still. Here's the thing: an interceptor standing still, my Leviathan still won't damage it with those torpedoes.
Yeah, and same with like capital lasers. Like it's a laser beam.
No, lasers will still blow things up if they're sitting still, but missiles won't. It's fucking horrible. Like, all right, let me give you an example. This new gun they came out with, the Zappity Zap gun. You don't realize how horny I was for that gun. You realize how excited I was for that gun. A fleet of 50 of those. You shoot the primary, 5 other things are getting killed. Logistics are gone. They're a nightmare. Okay, so this Zappity Zap gun was going to be the next best thing. I went and got a cruiser version. I put all full rack of Meta 14 mods, damage mods, guns, all of it. Undocked it. Saw a couple of faction light drones. Was like, I got this. They're abandoned. I couldn't break the fucking tank of faction light drones that were abandoned with this new ship. I immediately said, fuck this. I quit. Like, just, yeah.
The Eden Com ships are a goddamn nightmare, and we all hate them.
No, they're a fucking waste of skill points. Like,
they're useless. I literally trained them for the purpose of going zappity zap. I was literally going to record a video of me going zap zap and then like shooting the gun. I was so excited. I was going to be a Buck fucking Rogers in this motherfucker.
I'm
but
determined
no.
they will make an Eden Com Logi ship, which will be like an RNG Logi beam.
No,
someday, man.
What they need to do with the Eden Com ship, and they'll never do it because this company hates fun, is they need to make, like, for example, the Battleship one do about 500 DPS. With 500 DPS, it's enough. Okay, it's enough to cause it to, what do you want to call it? It's enough to cause it to actually make Logi have to sweat. If they think Logi's a problem, that's how you fix it. Also, why is DeClorian drooling when I said I was horny? That's kind of concerning.
No, it's not me that is drooling.
The guy, he said I'm drooling. Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Really, the only person I've seen run eating comm ships in a fleet is Test, and every time they fucking bring it,
oh no, they're useless.
Whelps.
No, he has one, but he like he shot me once and it did 40 damage.
No, I don't think the zap should bounce between locked targets. I think the zap should not should bounce. I think it should be like the Doomsday. Like I always picture the Doomsday on a Keystar, right? Like it should zap first target really fucking hard, and then have diminishing return.
Scaling damage down.
So like if it hits, say it hits for 2,000 damage in one shot, right? Kind of like how the mutant hits for 2,000. Then the second ship it hits, it should be 1,500, then 1,000, then 500, then like 100, right? It should have diminishing returns that way. Right now, it does 50 fucking DPS, which is like it's like trying to shoot a mosquito at a fucking like spaceship. Like, what the fuck's that mosquito gonna do? Ain't gonna do shit. There's no chance.
I think Leshaks need a range buff.
No. Leshaks
Their
need
range is such bullshit. I would give him a couple of extra
Leshaks are structured shot ships. That's all they are. They're not supposed to be combat ships.
I'd love
Otherwise,
them to be
they would break the meta of like worm. Like they already break wormhole space.
I need to fucking break. Like the meta right now is freaking mutants online. You either alpha through it or run away because you're a giant baby.
So that's because of bombing has led to that.
Which was actually another question or a thing that we talked about earlier. Bombers are fucking broken as they are. Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I was all for bombers whenever, in the first Delve War, I have screenshots of myself in those fleets or whatever, like right off of what was it, Shrike, his freaking revelation, like right in front of me. Like I snuck up on him like almost at point blank range in something without a Covop's cloak, okay? But I could target something at ridiculous ranges with cruise missile launchers. But once I uncloaked, like there was some dedication to the field at that point. Like I'm gonna lock my target, fire, and then I'm gonna have to maneuver my ship in order to not like die or whatever. Right now, it's just warp anywhere. Get the biggest mob of people you possibly can. Make sure everybody maintains their cloak, and then everybody uncloak at one time and nuke the target. I mean, there's literally really no gameplay to that at all. Like after the first couple times, yeah, it's fun, but after that, it's crazy. You shouldn't be able to nuke a Nyx in 90 seconds on the enemy's Keepstar. Yes, this was done. Yes, I was on that fleet.
It's happened.
You have the most experience with bombers, but mostly for bombing runs. But
what about bombers?
So basically,
we think they're stupid and broken.
No, not. They need buff.
Buff. But you do. I'm not sure if you've played Eve lately, because I know you haven't been like playing Eve at all. But
I blew up recently.
90 bombers can kill a super in under 50 seconds. How do you feel about that?
No, they don't. A properly fit Nyx takes 2.5 minutes for 100 bombers to kill.
It's still ridiculous.
It's still.
That's actually pretty balanced.
If you remember back before,
that's not balanced at all.
You're talking about the torpedoes on the bomber. I'm talking about the bombs. The bombs.
No. We're talking about focused avoid bombs, torpedoes.
No, the bomb part of the bomber is fine. I think that's fine because it gives play and counterplay. Like what you did against PGL, which was fantastic. You could bomb the whole fleet or shorter reload time. Like I'm fine with that kind of stuff. We're talking about the torps and the fact that you can hit out to like 80k in a little tiny ship that does like 1,000+ DPS. It's like fucking ridiculous.
Your cat's adorable. How it takes less than, I think it's a minute 30 in 30 bombers, and it takes a minute 30 to kill a POS. Or a carrier, which just melts under the sun if you use a couple focused voids. Rorks are fine, but like still, you have, if Bomber's Bar was still active, like there'd be, this is why Goon said no more ratting in capitals and such, because it's ridiculous of how quickly shit dies, and nobody likes it.
Well, they do, because they don't spend the time getting into a super and enjoying themselves. Then they, I mean, don't get me wrong here. It's fun when you like roll up on a big boy and you're like, I'm in a 100 mil frigate and I do 1,000 plus DPS to you, and you can't kill me fast enough.
1,000 plus? 1,000 plus? Try almost 7,000 for their fucking alpha. That's crazy.
Polarized Bomber max skills, yeah, right around 6,000-7,000 racial damage.
I mean, I remember whenever if they first came out, and we came out with a double sensor boosting cruise missile fit up, where you could lock up to 250 kilometers, and you could actually hit somebody at 200 kilometers.
But at that time, you couldn't warp away cloaked like you can now.
Exactly. So like once you uncloaked,
there's almost no risk unless you catch them on the drop.
Exactly.
Like that's what we had to do in Theta all the time. Is if we didn't catch you on the drop, like all we could do is just try to save the person.
Like
we thought it was broken before with no targeting delay. Like now it's just completely wonk.
So like if CCP wanted to stop us from boson ratting and whatnot, okay, I can understand that from a outside player's perspective. I could see how you would want to fix that, but fixing it by nerfing the tank and making them easy as shit to murder, don't do that.
It supports body. Okay, the easier it is to kill super carriers, the easier it is to bot. Let me explain. A real human has faults. A real human may not pay attention for a few seconds in his sight. A real human may not pay attention to the fact that a guy just had a local because he's not checking through the 80 guys in local. He's not scrolling constantly. Or like in my case, I never looked at intel when I would troll rat because I kind of knew I was safe. But at the same time, if I really got dropped by shit, I'd probably die. And so that's the issue you have, especially with Rorquals too. Humans have flaws. But when you nerf the tank like that, all you're doing is promoting botting more because a bot is inhuman. It doesn't make that kind of mistake. When it sees someone come across intel, it's already safe by the time you get there. When you enter local, it's in warp. Right? You got to catch bots by tricking the bot into making a mistake, the actual botting program. But bots have become better and better over time. For example, one of the features of a bot that they have right now is that once someone comes into local and the bot determines it's time to safe up, the bot won't go back to ratting like it used to unless the bot determines you've said, okay, go back. So unless the bot has decided, okay, it's time to go back to ratting because you told me to, no, the bot's just going to sit there. So a lot of the we just got to beat the botting program is taken off the table, So what's that leave you? Well, you got to get there somehow with a blue character, or you got to do other bullshitty things. So that's the thing with nerfing supers is it doesn't really nerf a normal average human's ability to make, bot's ability to make. If anything, it makes it easier for them. It really nerfs the idea of I should be at my keyboard doing stuff. Because the more you nerf supers and shit that requires you to actively shoot stuff, the more you promote people to get in Myrmidons and go sit AFK and something so inexpensive that it's soul-sucking. So, let me give you an example. We did the math on this once. I think it was Tibrazzle and I, or XTDZ, or I can't remember. Maybe it was Zungan. But we did the math, and we found out that to rat EVE Online, okay, back in the day, making an average of 60 million ISK per tick was the equivalent of working at minimum wage at McDonald's 8 hours a day for a year. That's how much you'd have to RMT your ratting. You'd have to rat for 8 hours a day, and that's what you would make out of it. Maybe, I think we end up coming up with the math. You'd have to basically make in ratting about 5 billion ISK a day to equal a minimum wage job. So if anything, they need to nerf. They need to make it so that, like, I think ratting ships should have kind of like a PvE buff. And this might sound really horrible, and people might not agree with me. But if anything, I think ratting ships should become tankier when they enter an anomaly. They should get a special buff.
So just like
they shot a rat recently. Kind of like if they shot rats recently, they get like a special like resist buff or an HP buff or something. And the reason for that is like if you shot a rat recently, that means you're doing something very dangerous and risky. Like, for example, here's what I've always wanted to see happen. I've always wanted to see siege mode be on any capital ship. Any capital ship. But let me explain what I mean by that. They should have a siege mode that gives you 10 times the hit points. Maybe even more than that. But you can't be repped. So maybe even 100 times the hit points. So you can't be repped. Can't rep yourself. So you just become like a giant boss. That's how I feel siege mode should be. Right? So give it to Titans, give it to Dreads. Okay? Dreads, maybe you get 10 times the HP, and Titans, you get maybe 100 times. Now, when you're in siege for 10 minutes or whatever it is, you're like really fucking
stuck.
You're stuck. You're pretty fucking fucked if you get caught out, right? And you're tackled up, but you can't be remote rep. So I think that'd be a great way to balance out the issue with supers. Because here is the thing, right? So imagine a bot that had to siege every time it was shooting rats.
You have a chance of killing.
Right. So here's how bots combat this, right? So they did the NSA thing where like if you use the NSA, you can't ward for 60 seconds or whatever.
You can't ward while the NSA is active.
Right. So here's what bots did. They just put on 5 sensor boosters and flew Nixes and Aeons.
Yeah.
Or an tank tell or no tank tell, I should say. So that's how they countered that, or bots countered that problem. Is they just don't use the mod. So what you do is
supers naturally
supers have to have like their version of a siege module. Okay, what does that do? What does that entail? Okay, their version of a siege module would require them to become kind of like Bastion mode, where they can't do any damage whatsoever unless they're in siege. So their fighters go from like say a carrier's fighters go from like 5,000 DPS to 500 out of siege.
How would that affect real life?
They have to siege for like a minute or 2 minutes or whatever. And so what that would make it really amazing for PvE, right? Because you would clear the site really fast in a carrier. So, but if I jump in local and you're in a bot and you activate that module, you're fucked. Like no bot's gonna use a super carrier at 500 DPS. They'll switch to something smaller. So now you've effectively balanced the market.
Would you have that option in fights too?
Won't people will just bot with a PvE buff ship though? Yeah, it's kind of like a Marauder in the sense. It gets that bonus or a siege module on a Dread. You need that for carriers. You need that for super carriers. You need that for Titans. You need that to make that takes away right there. That'll take away carrier and super carrier bodied in one day. You put a siege module that gives like a damage buff on a carrier and super carrier, and you won't see botting supers and carriers tomorrow morning. Because there's no benefit. There's a benefit in the sense if you're a real human, because a real human gets tackled, a real human's gonna go on comms, he's gonna call for help, he's gonna, get defended. And when you come out of siege, kind of like a Oracle does, you're gonna get help. And there'll be no problem with having like a quote unquote panic module on those ships. But the whole point would be you need to make it so that like what you're changing to try and combat people using them to rat and mine doesn't positively boost the ships that or people you don't want to boost. And I think that's the problem they're having right now.
So can I add my take in on this real quick?
Sure.
What if you were in the carrier type situation? What if you were to roll the drone bonuses into the NSA to where if you don't use the NSA, you get extremely docked on your DPS?
That's what I'm saying. Like it needs to have like almost like a siege mod. You need to be using it in order to do damage, thus you can't move. And I think that would make it so that people that put shit on the field, like you put dreads on the field and you siege, you're putting your dick on the table for 5 minutes. And I think carriers and supers should have that same aspect. People already rat in super or dreads. People do it. That's because they're really fucking good. So Yeah.
And like ninking supers won't be able to be used as much, you know?
No, you'd have to tank your super carrier. You'd have to put a tank on it. You couldn't just run some abysmal thing that has like 3 million health. Yeah, hyperspatial with,
now
with speed and.
While I completely agree that would be a great change, I do want to address in the chat, and I hate to stress this again because I don't want to spoil too much of tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow.
But the thing is that exactly whatever you change, whatever gameplay mechanics that you change, will either hurt regular players. It may hurt the bots, but it's only going to hurt them for a short time because in like many other games and every other video game on the planet, in the existence of video games, there is that constant struggle between developer and cheater. And it's a constant battle of who outsmarts who for whatever period of time. So eventually, the bots will adapt, which is why...
The bots can't adapt to that, though.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
impossible.
So the thing is that they will find a way. and this is something that I'm going to be opening up about tomorrow. But trust me, cheaters and botters find a way. Just like goons find a way. We find a way to, we find a way to adapt to CCP's changes. You know? When CCP fucks something up, we figure out a new way to do it, you know? And exactly, bots have been doing it since 2004. They will find a way. So we have to look at it from another angle. We need to stop looking at this idea of changing the meta. We have to stop fixing the exploits that they're taking advantage of and take a look at how the hell they're even able to execute those exploits in the first place. So,
okay, here's my thing. You're missing the point, though. I don't care if you go bot your Ishtar. I don't care if you go bot your VNI. You're botting Ishtar and botting VNI, you're going to make 30 to 60 million ISK an hour. That's not going to impact my game. Not one little bit. But you're botting super carrier, pulling 200 mil an hour, which is what bots can pull pretty easily, will. Because they run those for 10 hours. They just paid for another dreadnought to drop on me. You run a VNI for 10 hours, that ain't going to bother me none bit. That's going to make you 200 million. That's going to buy you maybe a battleship, but you have to actually fly it. So, anyway, I got to get going here because I got to go teach kids of the youth of America tomorrow. So, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Take it
have
easy,
a
Boat.
fun night.
Let me back about.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you, Boat.
So, I had an idea regarding carriers that would probably be a little bit of a change and probably help out with lag a whole bunch during the big fleet fights. Using the same game mechanics that we already have, utilizing like the first person camera. I think you know where I'm going with this. Basically, make super carriers motherships again. Give them the ability to share their fighters with other people, but not in the same way that we Skyneted them back in the past. But actually, let people go up to your ship, and if they have even fighters level 1, they can board a fighter like a fighter bomber and fly around in that fighter. And whenever the mothership dies, they lose power unless another mothership takes ownership. But then they would have to relaunch from that other mothership. I actually think that would help out a lot, especially if once you're inside of those ships, they get a significant bonus to their hit points that they wouldn't, or their DPS that they wouldn't otherwise get. And I think that would make for a lot less lag in the system, because I don't know if anybody was in White Edge 2 for the last one, but holy shit, the lag and the ridiculous amount of fighters on the field.
I mean, if you want to kill a Keepster, just throw some Titans at it. So
I mean,
they
that's
could have
true.
reduced the lag very easily if they chose to go with the hard way.
Yeah, that took a lot longer than it should have done.
Yeah, though that's why I think it'd be really funny if we just dropped another Keepstar in Y2, just to be like, well, are you gonna kill it or not? Just to see if they will.
How many trillions of ISK did they lose in fighters? Like it was a lot.
About
It was
3
ridiculous.
trillion. They lost about 3 trillion.
I personally was happy that they were sending all of those kill mills my way. Like, please just keep on feeding.
Well, so since no boat left, but status, feeling like let's check in on how we think the war is going, because I currently don't really see much of a
There's a war.
but
What war?
There's a war. So
there's
the Horn of Gundor, and I guess
Oh,
this
yeah.
would be a great war topic to bring up. So it's my understanding, because I only joined Goons in late 2016. So it is my understanding that the current situation is that the hostiles have basically moved their capitals within range to put an assault on Quirios, and the Horn of Gundor basically calls out to Goons past and says, "Hey, you don't play this game anymore, but you do got a Titan in your hangar. We could put that Titan to good use instead of having it sit in a hangar for the next 10 years. So
that
donate
was like
it."
the secondary part of it. The main thing was like, hey, come back and help defend Delph. And if we even got a partial bit of the people that were messaged out, it'd be nice. You know, the hostiles are sitting there being like, "You called for help. Why did you call for help? You're so weak." Like, I'm sorry.
Excuse
it's
me.
3-1.
Exactly.
That's not the speech, guys. Come on. It's basically like, guys, you have the biggest war in one of the biggest like games, like all in the same grid type of games that you can have. This is one of the biggest games, one of the biggest wars in any PvP situation that you all have in the gaming history. So we are taking our part. Let's say this in a really political way. So basically, we are doing our part into inviting our friends that don't play anymore into coming back again, into taking part of this. Yes, like we would be like fooling people if you're not like, oh, I'm sure I'm glad I'm taking more pilots, but that's not the main reason. Like we want people to take part of this. Like also, if you want to donate stuff and things like that, of course we will take them, because yeah, sure, like the more the merrier, it's even better. But that's not like the reason. That's why it wasn't the main topic of the Gundor.
What's the difference between us doing that and then Test going up to all these alliances and sucking up to all of them to come say, "Hey, come
Like,
help fight our
"Can you
war"?
help us fight the Goonie?"
It's fine.
Oh.
Like
Don't wanna go
everyone.
into it.
So this is something I want to address too. The Reddit postings of people saying, "Oh my god, I got an email from Goons," and it's like, "Oh my god, you gave us our email." It's like going to it's like going to Amazon and ordering like a remote control like car or something.
Okay.
And then you get an email.
That's
No.
not-
And then you get an email from Amazon saying, "Yo, you liked that? How about some more of this?"
That's okay.
So
It's-
Goonie DuPont, while you're being ironic, funny enough, so we got a wonderful donation that was on Reddit from a very old goon, Myrena, I think, or Myrena, and he gave us about 2.5 trillion, Mina, whatever it is, 2.5 trillion, and he's still comfortable with his wallet, which is hilarious. But he gave about 1.5 trillion in goo and about 1 trillion in liquid, and that's, I think someone did the math. That's like 30 something Titans. So, you know, that'll be nice if you actually kill anything.
It's just one more drop. It's fine.
They'll
What
never
Thank
get,
you a lot.
bucket.
Thank
they'll
you,
never
Lloyd.
get used. This war has gotten so stale.
It has, honestly. I hate to like put a stomp on it, but dead ass, this war has been on the slow grind recently, and I hate it. I
like
hate
they're
it.
afraid.
I swear, like I hate it. Please. I have been so bored that I am actually doing my schoolwork for once in my life. Throughout all of high school, I practically cheated on every test and homework, and I am so bored with this war.
Admit that. Then you take your degree away.
I have been so bored with this war that I've actually sat at home in quarantine and done my college work. Like legitimately.
You do know that researching the answers
Bomga.
isn't
Just-
cheating, right? Like if you
No, I get
research the answers
have
in the
been doing
textbook, if you're actively looking for the answer that they're asking for in the class, that's called researching, by the way. Like they
No.
want you to do that.
We have been. I can attest to Mifune doing homework because we've been doing it all together.
Theta's been helping me.
I was just assigned 80 hours of work for a course, and I'm
Just
about to be
this.
assigned more. So it's about to be cancer.
Gumbo Freeman in the chat, like, did you even saw test moving 500 Titans?
So
They're moving them, but are they
numbers-
using them?
I think you
Not-
smudged those numbers a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
The total numbers I think that I heard was about 800, 900. Now, obviously, they could have like brought in a couple more here and there. Test won't like completely admit to their numbers, but I think they brought about 900 to 1,000 total.
They wanted to bring 1,000. They wanted to. That doesn't mean that they.
Probably
Yeah.
800
Did you see when we had that fight? When we had that fight in G Magic earlier this week, how many Titans did they drop in Esoteria? All those Titans, all those test Titans.
That's
back
their
in,
armor.
But still, in Esoteria, if you're gonna bring 1,000 Titans and bring all of their forces to kill goons.
Okay.
They're not
Okay,
like
let's clear this. Let's clear this. The G Magic thing was a shit show. Like very few Titans because they have really few defenses in fucking Esoteria at the moment. So it's all fine. It's all good. It's amazing. And I'm not sure. Billy called for 1,000 Titans. They didn't got even half of that moving. So yeah, let's see.
So I was there at that G Magic gate thing. The reason why they dropped dreads, from what I could tell on the field, was because the enemy had put in a few super carriers really unsupported. So the hope was we could nuke those super carriers before the enemy got a big fleet on field. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But we killed a lot of faxes. But I was there in my adorable little guardian, repping everybody. I never get to do the cap stuff. I'm always in a sub cap every time they call for caps.
No, we were taking a chance, guys. Like that was a regional gate. We were taking a chance into going in, and since we have a shit ton of dreads and no one is dropping capitals, we were like, okay, let's like if they don't want to do it, let's fucking do it. Like fuck it.
Who's getting invaded?
Yeah,
aren't the invaders supposed to like attack us?
It's all fine. I'm not going to spin, but basically what happened is we saw an opportunity and we don't back down on them. So we saw an opportunity. There was a chance of losing, a chance of winning. We took the shot. We went for it. It didn't work out. It's all good. It's all fine. No,
I'm talking about like John's thing where the guy local in TCAG was like, why don't you guys just jump into us? Why do you guys always hide?
That was like, that was in Landikyu. The video?
No, I was there on the fleet in TCAG.
Yeah.
I know where it was.
It was with the Super and Titans that were sitting on the Fortizar because our Super fleet, we arrived a little bit too late. Like our Supers and Titans got into TCAG right as the Titans started to drop. So we were a little bit too late to the party, and they decided to not jump the Supers and Titans into G Magic because in G Magic the test Titans were already there and the fight was de-escalating. And so some test idiot was calling out our Super and Titan fleet going, pussies, like why aren't you jumping into G Magic already and fighting? And it's like, dude, the fight's de-escalating and it's also your invasion of us.
Well, that's not when John's fun outburst was, but I mean
the one that I just posted in chat.
Yes,
yeah, I was talking about that one. Yeah.
That one was after we had thoroughly wrecked test in G Magic, came back to TK, and then some guy in locals like, why aren't you coming to fight us on our side? And he's like, because you're invading us. That's how this works.
So
laughing.
Burning Beard 80, talking about the culture of goons here. I've been here for the evolution of goons, and let me tell you, the way that goons are now is probably the reason why I'm still in Eve. Like used to, it was toxic. You didn't want to speak up. There were some people that you just kind of wanted to avoid. Nowadays, like it's a close knit community. And now I call it my space book. I have people in goons and in other places scattered along the map that I know in real life. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, professors, people that I've interacted with in real life. And Eve Online is one of the places where we can come together and actually, commute, whatever. We could talk and we can catch up. And other games that have gone the wayside over, X number of years, like something will be out for like a year, then it's gone. Well, Eve is one of those really interesting games where it's kind of stuck around, and people always say that you don't really quit Eve, like you're just taking a break. But what's awesome about the way that the community has kind of evolved over time, you have people that'll sit there and have a conversation about their physical fitness, about their health. We've had some people that have been, having a hard time with cancer and their cancer treatments, and other people giving them motivation. Telling them, "Hey, dude, I'm here. If you're ever in this part of town and this part of the world, or if you ever just want to call and chat, you do it, man. Like you come on by, I got a couch for you, or just call." Like the community has wildly, drastically changed from whenever I entered the game in 2007, and it is actually the reason why I'm still playing this game. Otherwise, with all the CCP bat nerfs, going around, I probably would have quit a long ass time ago because I was tired of their shit. They don't listen to their player base, which is very sad. Okay. And a lot of
Give
us
me my
really,
marbles back.
yes, a lot of us really like the game. It is beautiful. Eve is beautiful, but you got to listen to your player base. You've got to get inside of the culture. Like, quit telling your guys that they can't join the big blocks. This is the reason why you're disconnected from your player base. Okay? If you're not communicating with your player base, you don't know what they're going through. Okay? You don't know the kind of trials and stuff that people are actually going through on a day-to-day basis in their lives. So how could you really know what kind of content that you're supposed to be supplying?
So, like, in case you don't know, I'm only in goods for 1 year, and
And you're a director already? This is some crap.
I'm not a director.
Who did you piss off?
I'm just a piece of shit. Okay, that's
I
my
thought
official title.
Becoming a director was actually a punishment. I was like,
It is a punishment.
It is. It's a death sentence.
I'm just a piece of shit. Okay, I am no director. I have nothing to do with that. Okay. And what else? So yeah, I've been only in Goons for 1 year, and I may tell you that, and some people in the chat that are some old friends of mine that are not in Goons. I already saw two of them. Old friends of mine from like completely different alliances, nothing to do with the big blocks also, but yeah. Like they were surprised when I went to Goons because I avoided Goons for a lot of years. I've went to a lot of places, but always avoided Goons until I got inside of Goons. So I've joined Bastion initially, like 2 years ago, or something like that.
Started.
Because I had a corp that was in. I'm trying to remember the place, like Immensia, somewhere around there, like 3 or 4 years ago. I founded that corp with some friends of mine. Like I'm not the founder, some friend of mine is, and I started the corp with him, and they joined Bastion eventually. And one of the years when I came back to play the game, they were in Bastion, and I was in some other place. And eventually, I went, okay, let's go again, and let's try Bastion. Okay, let's go for it. So I went there. I played for only 1 month, and some in real life stuff happened. I had to leave, and then 1 year later, so 1 year ago, I came back. And instead of going for Bastion again, I joined a Portuguese corp. So I joined Zonk Squad. I was in Zonk for 1 month, and then I went for Shadow State.
You saw John. You were like,
at the time it was Pittsburgh.
John yelled at you once, and you were like, oh.
No, at the time it was Pittsburgh. It wasn't Sean. At the time, it was a really
Pittsburgh
nice
can
sport.
rage too.
No, yeah, but at the time, like, I'm going to say like nice things about Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, but yeah, I had a really good relationship with Pittsburgh, and I really like the guy. What goes inside the game nowadays, it's other things. We are in different parts of things, and yeah, we have different agendas. But at the time, it was really nice to play with him, and I loved it. And then, yeah, John came around also. He was already around. But I met some other guys like Keish, Carl, yeah, for sure. Like a lot of guys. It was really amazing. And that community like really went to show me what goons were. We shit talk a lot, and we still do. Every single time one of us do some dumb shit, because it happens a lot, memes come out, and we do a shit ton of memes about each other.
Like Carl slop squatting to get a Titan end dock.
Exactly, that's a
Yeah,
big one. Yeah, those are the really good memes. And when you saw the Pseudo Titan 20-second skill on that Titan, that was another huge one. That was my first red bomb in Shadow State. Like, I planned it from the beginning to the end, and I had Keish and Ultracal helping me around. It was really amazing.
Ultracal's a god.
in the
He really is.
So I hate to cut off the feel goods because I love feel goods. But Mifune does have to go to bed because his dad's got something tomorrow. So with our remaining amount of time, does anyone have any closing thoughts or like shout outs or words of wisdom, you guys, or whatever?
Just in the spirit of this being, Suicide Awareness Month, if you are feeling down, remember the Eve community is huge. Like, if you need a shout out, if you need to, go to talk to somebody, there is somebody online at all times except for the tiny little time that we have downtime. Okay. Reach out and talk to somebody. If you need to talk to somebody, my best advice for whenever you're going through a hard time is make a friend and wear them the fuck out. Okay, wear them out. Talk to them. Release all of your inner demons, but talk to somebody. Okay.
And then I think Reddit with the broadcast for reps has a lot of great resources you can take advantage of for more professional help or more focused, targeted things for yourself if you need something like that. So, Henry, got anything?
You can also join Theta.
Join Theta. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Come to Theta, talk to us, like hear me shit talking, but for real, not with this consensus thing that I have to say.
Filter that he has to have for Twitch.
Okay, so join Theta and listen for real. Go, Randy, sorry.
So I'm gonna add my 2 cents into this. It's from I've been in Goonswarm a year now, and this is my closing statement for the night. The amount of support that I've gotten from everyone in the game is amazing. I came into the game, I had put it away for about 2 years because I just gotten sick and tired of it, and everyone was so supportive of me coming back and getting my head in the game. And the amount of support that we give each other is amazing in my sense. I've never seen it in any other game. And on the topic of it's Suicide Awareness Month, if you ever need to reach out to anyone, you can always message me in game. I'm on all the time, and I will always be there for someone. I have had friends that have needed help, and I'm always there for someone to be screamed at, someone to cry on their shoulder. I'll be there for anyone. And it would suck to lose. I don't care if we're shooting at each other, and you're still a friend in my books. It would be a shame to lose someone to the war in their mind. And I'm there for you. And
never
thoughts.
Never get caught in the loop where you think that no one cares, because there's plenty of people that care. We care here, and I'm sure everybody in Theta would agree. If you need somebody to talk to, just give a shout out to any of us.
Like as soon as you get into Theta, if you have a serious talk, even if we are shit talking to each other, like if I'm having a talk about twinks and shit like that, like as soon as you start having a serious talk about something, we will shut the fuck up right away. Like we have a lot of respect to each other, in that sense of when shit gets real, shit gets real. So yeah, we are all funs and giggles, but in real life, always comes first, guys.
Honestly, this Tonight Show was definitely very reminiscent of normal Theta cons. We went from Boat teaching us how to properly bathe ourselves to is cereal a soup to bombers are bullshit and broken to how to prevent bots or how to like combat bots. So if you are wanting to just talk about whatever, we offer that down there. It's not for everybody, and not everybody has to like everybody, but we do encourage anyone in Goon Swarm or the Imperium in general, such as Init Mercenaries, Ranger Regiment, and all those good guys are down there, to come and hang out with us.
At the end of the day, all it is spaceships and pixels. And at the end of the day, you're still a human being and you matter.
Yeah.
Also, if you happen to be, somebody that's not in Goon Swarm and that still does need some help, look at all of the names here, take a screenshot. Any of us here are absolutely happy to help you if you're going through some stuff. Still give us a chat, and we'll be there for you. All right. So just because you're not in Goons doesn't mean you don't matter. All right. We're all one
You
big
can't join Goon Swarm right now, though.
right. We're all one big community, but just because we're in a war. Go ahead.
I answered 2 emails, so you can send it along. And in case you don't know, I already went to a depression once, so I have some sort of experience that can help you out if you need to.
Well, we've got to let it go for the night. Mifune's got stuff to do. Mifune, do you have anything to close with?
Show up tomorrow. Honestly, some people are gonna be nerve-wrecked by this. Some people are gonna hate me for it. But show up tomorrow. I am super stoked to be able to talk with Caleb and have a nice research discussion about botting and cheating in video games in general and how to combat that. Pre-disclaimer, no, neither of us are computer-like professionals. I'm not going to college for computer science. So if anything we say tomorrow turns out to be like some far-out bullshit, I'm sorry. But, we are looking to have this Push Talk Extra to talk about some real issues with EVE Online and how to combat them in out-of-the-box ways. So I would love for everyone to show up. It's going to be tomorrow at 2000 EVE time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when we're going to be starting. So I hope you all show up there. We have a wonderful bit of research to show all of you. We even have some graphs for the people that love porn graphs and whatnot. But it's going to be fun. But either way, this week has been some fun, and I hope to see you all next week on the next Theta Thursday.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Everybody.
I guess we can